Fantasy Football Show.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Final Plan, the show each and every Friday from PlanetFPL, where James and I discuss the upcoming game week and our last minute thoughts. We haven't had the pressers, all of them yet, but we have had some FA Cup games this week. We have had a little bit of an update on a few injuries that were floating around, including my goalkeeper. Any news on your goalkeeper?
Hugo, soon, hopefully. Soon. Can't come soon enough, I tell you.
So yeah, we've had those kind of updates, and on we go into the next game week. We are now one game week away from the infamous double game week. Any thoughts?
What, the double game week?
Yeah, just what your plans are for this coming weekend.
Well, I've made a transfer for my team.
Eh?
Yep, I did it. I think it was Wednesday night I did it.
Yep.
I sold Ramsdale for Alex McCarthy.
Oh, the same transfer I was thinking of making.
Okay.
Fabby out for McCarthy.
Well, I beat you to it. I got McCarthy in at 4.3.
Has he gone up?
Yeah, he's up to 4.4 now.
Oh,
yeah.
little bastard. I should have checked. I went away, didn't I? So it doesn't matter.
I parked the decision as well because the problem with Bournemouth so often is Eddie Howe is so sketchy with news. You know, he's been known to not drop news that he's known and say things that are not necessarily correct when reporting injury news. So obviously he didn't play against Watford on Sunday, and I immediately became suspicious about this idea that it was a hamstring injury picked up catching a ball in training on Saturday, but it was minor. Oh, what sort of minor hamstring injury?
Yeah. Normally it's minimum a couple of weeks.
Yeah. So I obviously saw McCarthy was about to go up in price.
Yeah.
And I did a little bit of digging, and basically, and this is not a joke, I found Aaron Ramsdale's mum on Twitter.
Yeah, I saw your tweet.
And she'd been, somebody had sent her a link to a video of Aaron Ramsdale in the stand at Bournemouth, like starting the singing and stuff, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And he'd asked her if she'd seen it. She's got like 54 followers, so I'm not going to like grass her up, right? And so she said, oh yeah, I've seen it, it's great. He was really gutted to miss the game. And then this other guy was like, yeah, so he's going to miss a week or so. And then she responded and said, yeah, it shouldn't be it. That should be like the most, no more than that, hopefully. So he's like at best 50-50 tomorrow. And as much as I can look at the team now and go, oh, I've got this Rashford news, which we'll talk about a little bit. Like, don't go into a weekend with 10 players.
No.
And when I got Ramsdale...
Your goalkeeper is not one where you're going to have someone coming off the bench more than likely, right?
No, Stekelenburg is my backup. It's one where I went for Ramsdale on the wild card, and I looked at them and thinking, yeah, January fixture's great. Bournemouth are due a run, and having now watched them you watched them against West Ham, I watched them against Watford.
Bad.
We both watched them against Brighton.
Bad.
So they've lost those 3 games against teams in and around them, basically 2-0, 3-0, and 4-0. You start going, wow, this is not clever. So it was one that in the forthcoming weeks I was probably going to look to jump off of anyway. I know I'm not one, and a lot of people will agree with this in terms of not being a fan of making goalkeeper changes during the season unless necessary. This felt like one where it was like, you know what, this little thing is coming up where I'm going to be scraping for a little bit of value here. Let's get it done. I looked at kind of where I'd like to get to team-wise if I was to take a -20, which I obviously wouldn't do. And I'd have 0.2 enough. So the penny pinching actually is quite important for me at this stage.
Sure.
Plans will change, obviously. So I decided to move Ramsdale on and get Alex McCarthy in.
I'm with you on McCarthy as well. I should have made the move. If I wasn't overseas, I would have probably known that the price was going up and made it as well. For me, fixtures based, it sets Southampton are second only to, I don't know if they're second to Sheffield United, but they've both got a very solid run. Other than the Liverpool away game for Southampton, which just take it on the chin. But their turnaround in form is really good, and their team looking like they could really rise up into the top 6-7 now. So I'm with you.
They've got
best choice.
Bar Liverpool away in game week 25. They've got a great run of fixtures up until game week 33, where you kind of open, there could be 3-4 clean sheets in there. No one's expecting him to go mad. He's a 4.4 goalkeeper for a reason, right?
That extra $500,000 saving on Dean Henderson, I think, is worth making.
I agree. And obviously the other thing on Dean Henderson, possibly a little bit unlikely, he could blank in game week 28 as well when they go to Aston Villa.
Yeah.
Obviously, if Villa were to make the League Cup final, in theory that fixture could stay the same midweek. But there's every chance with those two that they're not going to have the knock-on effect of fixtures, so it could just get moved back. They may well have a blank fixture. So, yeah, I think McCarthy, the right choice. And you're saying this is interesting because a few people have been asking about Flappy and that. He's your keeper.
He's
that
gone.
right?
He's gone for McCarthy.
Oh, so you've done the same thing?
I'm doing the same thing. I haven't done it yet.
Oh, right.
I'm doing the same thing.
Don't do it at 9 a.m, mate.
No. We're talking about Randolph here, right? What's the situation? Well, Fabi's out for 2 weeks, but with the injury history, I just don't like the reliability. You're talking about not making keeper changes throughout the season. It's a transfer waiting to happen, like you said. The same with Darren Randolph. Like when I said last week that Randolph would be a good option if Fabi was out for long term. If he was out for 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, then yeah. But Randolph's coming in with an injury. It's just he's priced correctly at 4.5. I just don't think the reliability is there, and McCarthy at 4.4 does the job. And let's be honest, Southampton have been doing well, playing well defensively. They haven't been leaking shitloads of goals, so I think it's the best option. And staying cheap with the keeper right now is also the right way to go.
Yeah, 2 clean sheets in the last 4, which was obviously against Chelsea and Spurs. 1 conceded against Palace, Leicester. They've since that horrendous run we were talking about, obviously with the Leicester fixture, then had City, Everton, and the Arsenal draw game week 13. They've only conceded more than 1 on 1 occasion.
Yeah, decent. Let's talk about Marcus Rashford. In, out, shake it all about. Unknown injury.
So, pre-last weekend, those who listened to the main pod Monday night, I was very much in mind, -4, dig him out, come down to a cheap forward, get Sonny in. And then delving into data on Sunday night, looking at Rashford versus Son and going, oh, what am I thinking here? I need to keep on to Rashford. So at the moment, obviously at time of recording, you haven't got, have you?
I do not own
Suj doesn't
I own him in Sky Fantasy Football.
I've sold him in Sky, but that's a different story.
Yeah. Started the move to...
those who were
Liverpool
wondering from Wednesday's pod, the early transfers happened. Rashford to Cantwell,
Okay, fair play.
And I had a panic of that. That is a great story. I'll tell you about it next Wednesday. But yeah, so now I'm in this position. I guess we need to get to ourselves into a position here. We say, okay, is he past fit? What do we do? Will we hold? I presume nobody's buying right now, not with that fixture anyway. And if he's ruled out, what do we do? One of the things I'm thinking, this seems absolutely mental, is actually to hold him Sunday and sell him next week before Burnley.
You've got someone that will come in off the bench, right? So,
well, bench-wise this week, as I would set up now, first sub's actually Wilfried Zaha still knocking about. Yeah. And I do want to get rid of the guy, right? But I'm thinking, if he plays on Sunday, he's obviously going to do it at less than 100% fit. That's a definite. And then does he play against Burnley on the Wednesday? Is there a sort of fixture they can do without him? Do you know what I mean? Whereas before we was thinking... My thoughts were, I'm going to really want him from that Burnley fixture. And then looking beyond the Burnley fixture, then it's Wolves at home, Chelsea away, Watford at home, Everton away, City at home, Tottenham away, Sheffield United at home. And that's the point where originally thinking my thoughts were before Liverpool, right, come off. So it might be a case that I'll leave him there this week. Because for me to get rid of him now, I would probably go Greenwood. Thinking as well that if Rashford don't play Wednesday, he will. Exactly. Yeah. He's 4.3, due to go 4.4 soon. And then obviously Son in for Norwich. And then that looks like a real -4 that feels worth it. To make those same moves now, I'd be doing it for a -8. And with the possibility that Rashford will play this weekend anyway. That just doesn't feel right. So I think I need the information before probably the actual physical game on Sunday to see how he looks, because obviously he played very early in the season. You remember when you beat them 2-0 early in the season, Suj, and he was really struggling, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He looked, fitness-wise, he was so out of it. Yeah.
But he was, you could tell...
In hindsight, there was no way he was fit during that game of football.
It was exacerbated by the fact that he was so isolated that he just couldn't do anything that game. That was, a dark day for Man United that day, so... But you're going to hold out then, you think?
Yeah, I completely understand that there'll be others in different boats. I mean, the obvious one is if people haven't got Ings.
Yeah.
And you're looking at that and going, oh, and then I can spread the funds. And I mean, if that allows you, if you've got 2 Liverpool players, then allows you the midfield move off of sort of 7-8 million area to get to Salah Mane, to
Correct.
get, then go for it, right? I think absolutely. So I think Rashford is probably right now, in my opinion, a hold, and unless Ings' availability seriously allows you to get the third Liverpool, if that solves your conundrums, you might have been thinking to come off Rashford in any case, if that's your way of thinking around moving. But there's nothing in the fixtures this weekend from a forward perspective at Rashford or lower that would make me feel like that's an amazing opportunity. Neil Maupay is a name we'll mention for the differential team, who with Villa at home, Bournemouth away in midweek. But then does he even play both?
Possibly.
In this short period?
So we're talking about forwards and Neil Maupay. I don't own Danny Ings. It's a bit of a problem. We spoke about it in the main pod that I need to get Danny Ings in. My second transfer this week will be to sell Raul Jimenez and buy Danny Ings. It was a choice of Maupay or Jimenez. One of them's got to make way. And looking at the fixtures, like Southampton away, and then they run into Liverpool and so on and so on, I think it's time for me to move away from Jimenez and get Danny Ings in, because their fixtures do take a turn. I could hold it out another week, but I don't want to. I'd rather get it done with the -4 and move on.
I'm not sure about that.
Yeah,
Jimenez fixtures doesn't matter.
I understand that. I just think this is setting myself up for the next 8 game weeks, rather than, it's not a short term in and out. Once Danny Ings is in, assuming he stays fit, which we probably should stop saying now, he's in now, and then Danny Ings is in, it will leave me a fair bit of money in the bank, 2.5 to 3 million, to then think about what I'm going to do in the next game week. And then the problem areas is obviously then Maupay, and then maybe one of my defenders.
Question. Do you think Danny Ings will score 5 or more points more than Raul Jimenez this weekend?
5 or more? Well, we know what Danny Ings does when he scores a goal, apart from when you own him.
Yeah.
Well,
points. I own him now.
So, yeah, I do. I just think,
Fine.
I think, it doesn't help me. I'm going to want to make a transfer next week as well.
So you're going to take a -4 to get 2 Southampton assets, selling a...
I was going to say exactly the same thing.
Selling a Wolves asset... Who's playing against them?
Would we have ever thought that we'd own 2 Southampton players in IFPL teams? It's mad. Absolutely mad.
That's my last 2 signings. It's the same 2 players.
And so credit to Southampton and Hassan Hootel for putting us in that position.
They will let down in some of these fixtures.
So be it.
I've seen a few people talking about maybe captaining Ings and stuff. Nah, not at all. And just a note as well, if you haven't pulled the trigger and you're not going to this week, they play Palace on Tuesday. There were some comments by Hassan Hootel yesterday about managing him and expectations and fitness. So I'm not sure I'd break in to dive in on Tuesday, assuming that he plays against Wolves tomorrow.
Yeah, talk to me about your captain this week, Vardy.
I am going to go Jamie Vardy, yeah.
Me too.
He's got a brilliant record, which has been highlighted by a number of people on Twitter. Including our Villa correspondent Adam Hopcroft, about his brilliant record away from home against top 6 sides. I think he's scored, non-top 6 sides.
Yep.
He's scored in all of them, I think. So alternative for me really would be De Bruyne or Mane. I wouldn't consider Danny Ings personally, as there are a couple of people eyeing up Todd Cantwell, who's got a great record in home fixtures, and they walk into Bournemouth this week.
Even Maupay, a few have tweeted at me, Aston Villa.
Yeah, playing Villa. Yeah,
last week I was a little bit maverick with Mane. This week I'm just going with the herd, mate. It's got to be Jamie Vardy with the vice on Sadio Mane.
I don't think it's clear cut, but yeah, I'm going to go Vardy.
Majority, I think over 1 million people will be Jamie Vardy this weekend. Considering it was 1.5 million last week, and a lot won't change their team.
Burnley's form as well.
I definitely think Jamie Vardy is the sensible choice this week.
There are a couple of other things to debate in terms of lineup for myself. Firstly, John Lundstrom will be playing for me. I think that's going to be the case for the majority of the people. Obviously, difficult fixture for Sheffield United away to Arsenal this weekend. Noticeable, Torreira we think out. Kolasinac definitely out. and I'm thinking of
That helps your
Lundstrom's
South
runs
team.
from
Cola.
inside. Well, we get onto that. What a state.
Aubameyang
So,
and Kolasinac.
yeah,
Arsenal letting you down.
Lundstrom will pay for me with Alexander Arnold and Robertson.
Yeah, me too.
At the moment, I will be Traore, De Bruyne, Cantwell, Mane, Rashford. I'm leaving in. I'm pretty sure Danny Ings, Captain Vardy, subs Zaha, Rico.
Our team's
Kelly.
getting pretty similar. I've got Mope and Maddison instead of your Rashford and Cantwell.
Now, just where I remember budget defenders, because it came to my attention, having just mentioned Kelly and Rico, there are a few names. Well, yes, Brandon Williams absolutely comes into contention. Now, I've spoke about potentially moving for him before the Burnley fixture in the week, particularly if he doesn't play at Anfield on Sunday. Now, just a note of caution. Nico Williams.
Are you worried people are going to hit the wrong Williams?
Is a defender at Liverpool, and they play in a red shirt as well, who's rated at 4 million. Nearly 1,000 people have bought Nico Williams in this week. Now, 90,000 have bought in Brandon Williams. I'm just saying, there's two players with a 4.0 valuation with the same name.
Buy the right one.
Buy the right one. That's it. And another name that I'm really keeping my eye on, because very importantly, played in the FA Cup for Newcastle in midweek. Jamal Lascelles, 4.2 million, is back, and Newcastle are about to walk into a run of fixtures, which is quite appealing actually. And I can see me going to that sort of Rico and Williams, Williams and Lascelles for Rico and Kelly.
Whilst we just have a brief question on Newcastle, a brief look at Newcastle before we get into the differential team.
Almiron scored 4 in 6.
How many more does he have to score before you buy him?
Well, is that what you're going to ask?
Yeah. How many more does he have to score?
Can we please note that 2 of these goals in the last 6 are in 2 games against Rochdale? No, I wouldn't even know Miguel Almiron's price. I'm not joking.
Yeah. There will come a point between now and the end of next season that we will own Miguel Almiron. I'm putting it there. James will own it, and I will own him. I reckon it's one of those when it's going to start snowballing and he will gather some momentum.
Just for fun, final day maybe, when we ranked at 1.2 million.
Let's see. The differential team got 53 points last week. Anybody jumped over 10% ownership whilst we've had them?
No.
Good choice in captaining Firmino.
Would you want me to punch my fist about it? I wasn't happy about it.
Why? Well, okay,
I've scored against my team, mate.
Sure. But a few blanks elsewhere. What are we thinking this week?
Watch list looks very small this week, and I feel like it's fairly straightforward here. Riyad Mahrez, about 7% owned, 8.5 million currently. We've got 2.7 million in the bank. We can move on either Tielemans or Zaha to Riyad Mahrez. Seems like an absolute no-brainer.
I'd probably move on. Who's cheaper out of Zaha and Tielemans?
Tielemans is 6.3 currently, and Zaha's 6.7 or 6.8.
I'd move on Zaha then. Get rid of the more expensive player for a more expensive player and keep the cheaper player.
Tielemans not doing anything, is he?
He's not, but Zaha isn't.
When was the last time Tielemans had attacking? It's against Arsenal around about game week 10, I think.
It's been a while with Tielemans. When he does, he sometimes pops up with double returns. I'm happier owning Tielemans than I am owning Will.
With a midfield of what will end up with Martial's son, Ali Mahrez, and playing... Right, we're going to have such a strong defence and forward line in terms of interest. We ain't never be playing Tielemans.
Yeah. That's why the cheaper player leave on the bench.
Not that I can see me ever wanting to play Wilfried Zaha, but the annoying thing with Zaha, and I spoke about this, can you just pull up Palace's fixtures, Suj?
I certainly can.
Because they obviously have a really difficult fixture at Manchester City this weekend. Then it's Southampton at home in midweek. But their run is attractive.
Well, Sheffield United at home, Everton away, Newcastle at home, Brighton away, Watford at home, Bournemouth away. It's not great.
Should I just play my own little game in my own personal team? Like, how long can I hold on to him?
With Zaha. If you want to commit FPL suicide, you go for it, mate. But
however,
I don't think those fixtures are as good on paper as you think.
Listen, it's Palace offensively. Anyway, just a note on them though. It's sometimes it's not since they lost to Liverpool. I think it was about game week 13-14 that they've conceded 2 in a game.
Okay.
And we've been talking about a lot of the odds and sods, but I don't know if
the little ones that is
it's probably more. I don't think anyone's starting Palace assets tomorrow. It's probably more faults for maybe De Bruyne or Aguero owners.
Sure.
Although if I own Sergio Aguero, I would 100% captain him tomorrow, without fear.
Let's talk about the North-South team. Are you making any changes to your South team?
Before we do,
yes.
Differential team's not quite that straightforward, and I'll tell you why. So we can go Mahrez to...
Zaha to Mahrez.
Zaha to Mahrez.
But...
we obviously want to get Joe Gomez in a week, as long as he's staying in that team. Now, the obvious one to dig out is Charlie Taylor.
Yep.
It would leave us 0.1 short to make that transfer. So I don't know if it's worth discussing now because we won't discuss it on the podcast. Which one of our differentials we would bin, be it Doherty, Aurea, Sidibe, or Chilwell? My instinct on the fixtures would be, although I said I'd look at it for the main team at the moment, is Matt Doherty.
Yeah, based on the next 4 fixtures, I would say Matt Doherty as well. The other 3 are good enough.
Wolves have a fixture against Norwich in 3 or 4 game weeks, and we can come back to him
the
there if we want to.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on that, Matt Doherty. The other 3 are good to stay.
South team. So last week.
Yeah, Arsenal decided to tear you a new one.
I got 40 points. And that's in spite hitting captain.
Yeah.
And all of my goal scorers, all of my forwards actually scoring.
See, I ended up with 65 last week, which is a decent score. Lundstrom, Trent and Robbo, full house at the back. Fleck, De Bruyne, 9-pointers. Rashford, 12-pointer. And Mane was captain. But I did have, if it makes you feel any better, third sub, Leander Dendoncker with a 10-pointer.
It doesn't. This is to sum up how difficult it's been for new listeners. I basically picked players from
130 points now.
Great. I picked players from the 10 most southern sides in the Premier League. Suj picks from the 10 most northern. My last 3 transfers in for this southern team. Lucas Fabianski.
Injured.
Kolasinac. Injured. Aubameyang.
Red card.
Suspended. I
mean, that's as much bad luck as it is anything else. It's not that they were bad picks or that the southern teams are worse. That's just the fact that you had a bad run there.
At least I've got the tried and tested Rico and Kelly to come in for Kolasinac. Do I want Kelly to come in away to Man City or Rico, who, well, I've no idea whether he will or he won't play at Norwich. I would suggest that Eddie Howe should play him, by the way, in terms of trying to attack Norwich's weaknesses.
Yeah.
So I want to make a defensive change. I want to get Azpilicueta as the player I want. I don't need to, with this team, I don't need to cut corners for the Reece Jameses, that kind of thing. But I already own 3 Chelsea players. So I think I will be going -4. And this does sound like a great -4. Mason Mount and Rico to Azpilicueta and Heung-min Son.
Mason Mount and Rico out. Azpilicueta and Heung-min Son in.
Yeah. Yes, I can afford it.
I have 1.7 million in the bank.
Oh, God.
And I will probably bin Marcus Rashford. I may come down to somebody considerably cheaper and then look to get either Riyad Mahrez or Anthony Martial, actually, is a consideration for me from Campwell or I think Campbell.
The thing is, before I was looking at this team of yours, and you had so much dodge in there, mate. You had like about 6 budget players.
I had.
I'm looking at your team now, and I'm going. Well, that's not too far off my main team.
Yeah, Lundstrom, Alexander-Arnold, Robertson.
You've still got Pope in goal.
Yeah, maybe I'll bin him this week. Maybe, but it's just scoring so many points elsewhere. Anyway, it's masked at the moment, so. We shall see. I may even write out Rashford and maybe I'll play Dendoncker for a change.
Well, what I was going to say is obviously, I should have clarified it there. That obviously, that -4 for my South team means keeping a suspended Aubameyang.
Yeah.
And I am going to keep a suspended Aubameyang during it's 2 league games that he'll miss because he'll miss the FA Cup 4th round, because I will definitely want him back for the game that he's back, which is Burnley away in game week 25. So I'm not doing the transfer out to transfer in. I've got so much money available for this team that I cannot effing spend. I'm just going to leave him there on the bench.
And to wrap up in the final couple of minutes, James, FA Cup was this week, the replays. You got over the line against Middlesbrough. I haven't spoken to you since then. Horrible night.
Everybody seemed really pleased with Spurs' performance the other night. I wouldn't say it was bad. I was playing with respect to Middlesbrough fans. Bog average opposition, right?
Yeah.
Well, I do feel like
every
time we win a game, I go bog average opposition.
Yeah.
But the first 20 minutes was good. And what I did appreciate during the game was there wasn't much direct football happening. That I did appreciate. But then when you're playing against a team that wants to sit so deep against you, really shouldn't be.
No.
And obviously, the one major plus that I didn't get carried away with that at all, because for me, Spurs, typically a Mourinho situation, I'll tell you quickly, 10 minutes to go, I'm looking at him, he's made one sub. I'm like, come on, get Oliver Skip on or something, give him the 10 minutes. I could tell watching him on the touchline that he didn't feel comfortable with the result. And sure enough, Middlesbrough scored. And then he did something that I really, really didn't understand, which is he took Eric Dyer off for Dele Alli and dropped Christian Eriksen into centre midfield, where Middlesbrough were playing direct balls into Gested and trying to win second balls. So now suddenly, as shite as Eric Dyer was, I've now got Eriksen fighting for second balls again. I didn't understand it. It was such an un-Mourinho change.
Odd.
The real positive out the fixture was, and obviously he got man of the match, was Japhet Tanganga, and now showing this time that offensively he was brave as well. He had a couple of chances in the game. Strongly advise you will get more information by waiting beyond Watford if that's the transfer that you were considering. If I was to buy a 4.0 defender right now, it would be Williams over Tanganga. Definitely.
What do we know about fixtures-wise in terms of games that are definitely going to happen or not happen or what have you off the back of the FA Cup replays?
So we know now that obviously Tranmere Watford was postponed. It's been there was some talk initially, but it didn't last long, that it could lead to potential doubles, etc. Watford go to Tranmere next Thursday night, so they'll play Villa Tuesday. Tranmere in the league, Tranmere in the cup Thursday, they'll take a second team, won't they? And then if they win, they play Manchester United on the Sunday in the FA Cup 4th round. So there's no shift there to fixtures. After next weekend, we will get a real clear picture of where we're at in terms of chips. When Bournemouth play Arsenal, are we doing anything?
Were we talking about live streaming?
Maybe.
Yeah, let's try and make it happen.
Straight after the FA Cup 4th round draw.
Yep, that's the Monday night, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
That's the Monday night, 7th, 8th?
It's the last Monday of the month.
Yeah, perfect. Sounds good to me. If you're up for us live streaming during Bournemouth Arsenal after the FA Cup draw, then just tweet yes in the thread of this podcast and we'll make it happen. Let's get this pod out, shall we?
Boom.
So good luck with game week 23. Good luck with your captaincy choices. We really do hope you have a good game week. Maybe a little bit more of a spread of points than last week, which was a real weird game week. Do stay tuned for next week for a full week of all the regular shows, People's Poll, Sky FF, Tottenham, etc., etc., etc. Thank you for tuning in. Ciao for now.
Cue music, man, child. Good luck, everyone.
The Fantasy Football Show.